Bet horse racing on DRF Bets. We'll match your first deposit up to $250. Get free expert picks and past performances, plus weekly cash back, all from Daily Racing Form, the most trusted name in horse racing. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, kicking off a 50-cent Pick 5 sequence on Belmont Stakes Saturday with a sensational edition of the Grade 1 Ogden Phipps. Fillies and mares going a one-turn mile and a 16th. Stars of the division abound. Before we get to the analysis, head on over to DRF.com. 25% off the retail price for your Belmont Stakes winners package, where you get past performances, exclusive clocker reports, betting strategies, and the player's guide. Here's the star-studded field for the Ogden Phipps Stakes. You've got a Preakness winner in here, Mike, and Swiss Skydiver, and she's not the favorite. That's how strong this field is.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, not only isn't she the favorite, I mean, I guess there's got to be some kind of chance she's the third choice in here, Dan, which would be a little surprising, but it's not impossible.
Swiss Skydiver underperformed a little bit last time out in the Apple Blossom when behind Latruska, who upset a first ballot Hall of Famer, to be sure, in Monomoy Girl that day. I think the key to this race is coming up in the Timeform US pace projector. Both the 3 Latruska, the 5 Shedaresthedevil like to be up front. I find it hard to believe that this time around Latruska is conceding anything.
I find that hard to believe too. It'll still be interesting to see what Jose Ortiz, who takes over on Swiss Skydiver, Dan. It'll be interesting to see what he elects to do, because she is not a slow horse and she has rail position in here. Personally, and it probably didn't make a difference, but I thought they made a mistake last time in the Apple Blossom, Dan. She broke like a rocket in there, and for some reason they didn't go and press that advantage.
And then she ended up down towards the inside, and Latruska and Monomoy Girl got away from her. Her prior start, her first start of 2021 in the Beholder Mile, not a terribly strong field, although as time goes by, has blossomed into the best older filly and mare in Southern California. That's the Swiss Skydiver we've come to know. That was a big effort.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, she sat a really nice trip in there, but she was always well within herself handling that field. And she disappointed a little bit last time, but you know that she's better than that. She has bounced back from, sort of subpar performances before, so I don't think I would worry too much about it. She could fall into a real trip here from the rail. I mean, there's obviously a lot to like about her.
I think she will get that trip. I think she's going to sit off the 3 and the 5 with a big chance turning into the stretch. Valiance is the number 2, and Todd Pletcher really got this horse good when switched to dirt. Winner of the Eatontown, then pulled off a victory over Shedaresthedevil and the Spinster. Those races were no flukes. Here's the Breeders' Cup Distaff, her final start as a 4-year-old. The Tappet mare is on the outside. She's going to try to give a good, strong run, and she's going to finish second to Monomoy Girl. This race has already produced 4 next-out winners. We know Pletcher is awesome off layoffs. This horse might have sort of a Dr. Post feel to her. I think she's going to fire fresh off the bench.
Yeah, and if they race in front of her too, it's only going to help her chances, Dan. I mean, I guess of the sort of major contenders in the race, and I do think she is one of them, she probably has the most to prove, because, it felt like she kind of improved out of nowhere once they got her to dirt last year. But her Spinster was good. I loved the ride that Saez gave her in that Breeders' Cup we just watched, and he put her right behind Monomoy Girl, followed her around the track, and she wasn't good enough to run her down, but she ran well to be second.
Nice to see Latruska finally getting some press. She was underrated coming into the Apple Blossom. She earned her 13th lifetime victory, and she really earned her 13th lifetime victory. Let's watch the Apple Blossom. It looks like Monomoy Girl's got all the momentum on the outside. She's got about a half length in front of Latruska, and for the very few times in Monomoy Girl's career, another mare said no.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Monomoy Girl has her beat all the way down to the end here, Dan. I mean, she has a pretty clear advantage on Latruska at the end of this race, but she can't put it away. Latruska, to her credit, continued to fight, and she came back and got the job done. Really good performance. She's run nothing but good races. She has big speed. It does feel like the one-turn races here could really suit her, although the only time they ran her at Belmont Park previously in a one-turn route race, she was bad.
That was the question I was going to ask you. Does it concern you, and would it make you take a second glance at a horse like Latruska, a beacon of consistency that one of her few bad races came at Belmont?
I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily hold it against her, although she's going to be a short price in this race. So at the end of the day, you're supposed to be looking for reasons to try to beat her. And that could certainly be one. I'm sure that there was some kind of excuse for it, Dan, but she was bad that day.
Queen Nakia is 30-1 on the morning line. She is a graded stakes winner. She pulled off a shocker in the Royal Delta 2 starts back when she got a perfect ride from Corey Lannery. Fourth last time out in the top flight after a bad start. She's a really nice mare that just finds a very, very tough spot.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for her to beat this field, but she's another one, I guess, much like Valiant Stand. She's just going to sit back in this race, hope that they go in front of her and hook it up, and then maybe she can come running late and pick up some pieces.
Shedaresthedevil won the Kentucky Oaks last year over Swiss Skydiver. Let's watch her effort in the Azeri, her seasonal debut where she beats Latruska. She denied Latruska the lead. She is in front coming down to the wire. Latruska, as always, tries hard. Shedaresthedevil just got it done, and Shedaresthedevil then backed up that performance with a win in the La Troyenne over Envoûtante, who came back to win last week at Churchill with a 100 buyer. This mare is sharp.
She really is. I mean, it's hard to, pick apart her form too much, Dan. She ran well in that race we just watched. I mean, I thought Latruska ran really well that day too, but Shedaresthedevil just had too big of an advantage that day when getting loose on the lead. And she got loose on the lead again last time and just took that field all the way. So, I don't know. To me, of the three major players in this race, she was hardest for me to like. That being said, I won't be surprised when she runs well again.
Stakes winner Water White finished second in a graded event as her prep. Let's watch the Ruffian last time out on May the 2nd. I thought Water White ran fine. She's 2 off the rail right now, the gray horse. And she has a look at this, Mike, at about the 16th pole. She's going to finish second to Volt, who came from way out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the excuse for her in here, Dan. Not that she ran poorly at all, but she came clear in the stretch with dead aim. She had the lead and she wasn't good enough. I mean, if you're going to get run over by Vault, and nobody likes Vault more than you and I, Dan, but if you're going to get run over by her, you're in trouble against a field like this.
Brad Cox, of course, says Shedaresthedevil, also has Bonny South, the Juddmonte homebred, who's coming into this race in good form. 7 of 9 in the exacta, second to Swiss Skydiver last year in the Alabama. And she worked hard to take her prep, the Double Dog Dare, in her 4-year-old debut. Let's watch that race at Keeneland, Mike. And Bonny South likes to fight it out a little bit. But what I liked most about this race was she really showed the ability to stay a little closer. Earlier in her career, I think she was more of a one-run type, especially if the pace was very fast. She stayed close. She battles the horse on the rail into submission, and then she just is able to grind it out in between.
That was a pretty good performance. She was very game to win there. I agree with you. I like that she has shown more tactical speed in her last couple of races even, Dan. So that could be a positive going forward. I don't know if it's necessarily a positive in this race. I actually feel like they'd probably be better served to revert to the closing tactics this time. Just sit back and try to make one run.
Let's see who we like in the Grade 1 Ogden Phipps Stakes. It really is a great race. Swiss Skydiver, I think, trips out. Her last race, I think you could make the case it was a little bit of an anomaly, and I agree with your take on the trip. They could have been more aggressive. She was in tight down on the rail, and let those 2 horses in front of them relax, and they were able to spurt away.
Yeah, I don't necessarily ever think it's a good idea, Dan, when you break like she did in there to not press your advantage and take back. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Not that it's a huge excuse. She didn't run her best race that day. But again, she has bounced back before from subpar efforts. And I think if she bounces back here, she's going to be tough.
With Monomoy Girl on the sidelines now, Latruska has a chance to wrest control of this division if she could win the Ogden Phipps after dethroning Monomoy Girl in the Apple Blossom. Key to this race for me, the opening quarter mile. I would take the race to Shedaresthedevil. Let's see how fast and how far Latruska can go. 3-2-1-7 for me, 1-3-5-2 for Mike. This is a great race. The Grade 1 Ogden Phipps on Belmont Stakes Saturday. Good luck.